RYOBI just doesn't stop. They just dropped a bunch of brand new tools on us. Half of these tools are brand new. Half of these you've probably never seen before, including one of the coolest little toolkits that have come out of RYOBI. Plus one of the most versatile tools I have ever used, the perfect setup for your truck. And that's just the beginning, because this could save your life, or at least save you from being bored to death. Let's go. Before we get started, I bought all of these tools myself with my own money. This is not sponsored. If you'd like to check out any of these tools today, links in the description, the pinned comment, and of course my TV viewers can scan that QR code right there with their phone. Go shop any of these tools that you like. Now, let me show you what I found. First on the list, one of the most versatile tools I have ever used from RYOBI, because this thing can do so much. This is the RYOBI 18-volt cutoff tool. It does use the 18-volt battery, so any of those will work for you. This thing is awesome because it can do so much. It can cut metal, it can cut tile, it can cut plastic, and a whole bunch more. Different cutter wheels for different types of materials are available so that you can just pop those on and make the cuts. This does include a forward and reverse. That little push switch there will forward and reverse the wheel depending on which way you want to throw the offcut or the shaving. So if you're cutting metal, you don't really want it throwing back on you. You can flip it the other way and throw it away from you. It does include this little guard that drops down, so you can basically set your depth of cut on there as well, and onboard tool storage so that you can swap out your discs very easily. So we put a gazebo on our deck so that we would have full roof coverage over it. I put up some gutter across the front of it and use this to make notches so it all fit together. This should cut the gutter extremely well. That's what I'm saying. It's just overall a very handy and useful tool to have in the shop. And because it cuts so much, this is one of the most versatile tools that RYOBI has ever made. This is a very cool little tool kit from RYOBI. This just released in the last week or so. As soon as I saw it, I had to order it because it's just so cool. First and foremost, it's basically a drill or driver bit kit with an electric screwdriver. What this is meant for, though, is, as it says on the box, MIcroTech. So eyeglasses, computers, things that you don't want to strip out screws on that are using very small screws. And around the house, you can use this on tons of different stuff. What makes this really cool is how compact and complete it is. On the inside, you will notice that it basically has any of those micro driver bits that you're going to need. There's also an extension. There's also a pry bar for prying apart like small electronics, that sort of thing, and a set of tweezers so that you can get into those smaller places or hold tiny screws, that sort of thing. There are some longer screw heads over on this side as well as the smaller, shorter ones on the right side of the kit, but there is also an extension that you can use as well that will adapt to any of those shorter ones. What I like about this most is when you close it, everything is compact. When you open it, you'll see the screwdriver kind of pop out. Now this screwdriver is rechargeable with a USB-C, so your phone charger will recharge it. And what's very cool is on the bottom of this, you see a magnet. What that's for is so that you can magnetize any of these bits. You see this Phillips head bit will not pick up this metal screw. Until I touch that Phillips head bit onto this magnet, now it will pick up the screw because it is now magnetized. You can magnetize any of these bits using that little built-in magnet. It does come with a charging cable. Everything you need is inside. And for the price, this is well worth it to have in the shop because it is handy as a shirt pocket. RYOBI makes a lot of cool stuff, including this. But they also make a lot of different work lights for different applications. And I have tested and used and own a bunch of them. So when I saw this group of lights, I thought, I'm a sucker for lights. Hello, I'm Matt, and I have a flashlight problem. I think it's just one of those things that we kind of get into and we don't know why. It's just nice to have when you need them. So first off, I bought this a little while back. This has a pivoting head that will lock in it straight. It'll also lock in on either direction at basically almost 90 degrees. You can push and hold the button, and it does have a laser pointer, so that's always cool to play with the cat or the dog or point something out, whatever you use lasers for. Now this light has 3 modes, low, medium, and high. What I've been using this for, I've gotten into rucking. Like you put a heavy backpack on, you go walking through the neighborhood. That's what I've been doing for workouts here recently. About 45-pound pack, but the ruck pack has a strap that I can clip this to. And now I have a flashlight that I can just take with me because I always do it in the dark. And that way I can see or be seen, more importantly, on that. But I think this next light might be a better option for it. This is the new RYOBI inspection light. What this is, it's basically the same design profile as this other light, but it has a more flat light like this one. It does have a low, medium, and high as well, and it does feature that same clip. Now what makes both of these really cool is the fact that they're metal bases, or magnetic bases rather, so you can magnetically stick them to any type of metal object. So if you're working inside a car, under a car, that sort of thing, these might be handy to have. Probably even more useful than that is this little gem right here. When I saw it, I thought, man, I don't have one of those, and I need one. It's basically a headlamp, but it does more than just what a headlamp does. One of the things I like most about this is I can just move or pivot this in any direction up or down to a certain degree, obviously, but this will let you basically pinpoint the light where you need it, whether it's a little bit above you, straight down, or straight away. Like, it's just one of those things that's pretty cool. And the reason this works is the fact that this headband base is magnetic. So it clicks to that. So if you also wanted to mag stick that to anything, it will stick to metal as well. One thing that also makes this headlamp a little bit different is the fact that we do have that strip of LEDs. It's very bright. You got a low, medium, and high, and then you also have a spotlight feature as well. So there's a little spotlight there. So if you need more direct light, this will also give you kind of the best of both worlds. All of these lights work off of the USB Lithium platform that RYOBI has just been adding more and more to. And what's really cool about these little batteries are USB-C, so you can actually charge your devices, phones, that sort of thing with just one of these batteries as well. It's pretty cool. Now let me know if you think this little light is cool. This is almost like a little lantern. And it doesn't give off a harsh light, it gives off more of a soft light. This one also low, medium, and high as the other ones. Also the USB-C platform has a hanger that you can hang it up above you. Also a carabiner that you can use to hang. So if you do want to clip it onto a backpack, if you're going packing or in a tent or anything like that, this might just be a way to add some extra light on that USB Lithium platform. And what I like about these, the runtime on these lights is insanely long with the batteries that you have, and you can recharge them. Overall, just cool additions to the RYOBI USB Lithium platform. But if you're in the 18-volt platform, you got to check out this 3,000 lumen bad boy right here. This will blind your neighbors if you have neighbors. If you don't, and you just have a field, and you just want to make things glow like the daylight, this is the way to go. This is a giant, not overly giant, but a really big spotlight. I'm not going to blind you with it, but it is very bright. 3,000 max lumens. Again, low, medium, and high settings, so just pushing the little trigger there will activate the low, medium, and high. It does have a place where you can hang this up as well if you wanted to. Overall, this is one of those that you just would like to have around the house. Maybe somebody creeping around the backyard, bam, hit them with a light. If you have these 18-volt batteries, you might as well have a giant spotlight, because who doesn't need more light? I like having several lights like these around for emergencies or even working on stuff. You always have a light available. It's just common sense. Now with all these USB Lithium tools that RYOBI has, there's got to be a way to charge all these batteries. You can charge them all in the tool, but you can also pick up something like this where you can charge 3 at once. Well, actually they charge 1 at a time. You'll see the lights light up as they get charged, change colors there. But this is also a power bank, so you can use this to charge devices in power outages. So right there on the bottom, you just plug in the USB-C cable and then plug it into, say, right here like an iPad, goes to charging it, or you can use it for phones or whatever other devices you have you want to charge. This would be good just to have in emergencies, especially if you already have these tools on hand, because you already have the batteries, and then you can just make it a power pack. Next, if you have a vehicle, you might want some of these tools from RYOBI, because they could save you when you're stranded, they could save you a trip to the service station, and they could just help you work on your own vehicle. This is the RYOBI Jumpstart pack. Now this runs off the 18-volt battery, so if you already have those, we'll work on those. Very, very simple to use. You're just going to pop your battery right in there. You're going to push and hold that little motor icon, they call it prime, and then once it's ready, it's going to let you know that it's ready to start. Then you can jump off your vehicle, so if you have a dead battery, you could at least get off and running. And it also has a light on here with a couple of different modes, so basically help you get seen on the side of the road. Just overall a really cool little kit to have on hand when you need it, because you know how frustrating it is when you go out there and you... This will help you. Also, I bought this last year. I've used it so many times just to air up low tires as the temperatures change, or if I have a low tire because there's a nail or something in it, this will at least let me air it up so I can get it to the service station. This is a RYOBI Inflator. The way this works, you just put a battery in it. You push the power, you set it to whatever pressure you want to air your tire up to, and it will automatically air up to that pressure and stop. Just crazy good value. I think these things are less than $50 and saves you from having to change a tire. Next, OnePlus HP Ratchet. If you're working on anything, not even just vehicles, just putting things together around the house, around the shop, this will be great to have because it will work with your 3/8" sockets that you probably already own. There's also a 1/4" version if you have a lot more 1/4" sockets or you just want a 1/4" version as well. But overall, not a whole lot of features to talk about other than it's just a ratchet and it works. You have a flip switch here that will lock the trigger out so it won't work. Flip it up and it will go whichever direction you have it set, and then set the direction just like you would any other ratchet right on the back of the ratchet head. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. OnePlus HP, so it's brushless, good power, good battery life. This is just a good lineup for automotive maintenance or saving your bacon when you need it. If this ain't new, I missed it. This is the RYOBI 23 gauge pin nailer. I love pin nailers for a variety of applications. I've used them a ton around the shop. especially for putting on like small trim. A pin nailer is a very tiny nail. It does not even have a head on it, hence the name pin. It's like the size of a pin. What these are good for is just tacking on small pieces that you don't want to put a bigger nail in because it will split the wood, or more importantly, you don't want that head of the nail sticking out that you have to fill or anything like that. And this is a good way just to do that. I've used pin nailers on my miter station, on my router station, just to put on a little small 1/4 inch trim. This works exactly the same. Throw your pin nails in there and then put an 18-volt battery on there and you're ready to drive pin nails. I didn't know RYOBI had this, or I'd already bought it. I think this might be new. Let me know if it's not. I do have their 18 gauge brad nailer, which I think is one of the better value brad nailers out there. Now I'm able to add this 23 gauge pin nailer to the mix. Makes me happy. Next up, a quick mention here. If you don't have one of these, again, really nice to have around the shop. Now this is an inflator. What they market this for is inflating pool floats or air mattresses, that sort of thing. But what you can use them for around the shop, for one, it comes with like 4 different tips for different airflow volume. But you can use them to dust off the workbench, dust off yourself before you go in the house so you don't get in trouble with the missus, dust off tools, that sort of thing, blow dust out of crevices. A lot of people use these in automotive detailing just to blow the water out from around headlights and door handles so they don't leave water spots. And again, it comes with 4 different tips. It does come with a little bag you keep the tips in. I do wish they were all onboard storage. You can store one down here on the base and then you have one up here, so you basically store 2 at a time. Wish there was another way to store those other 2, but overall, if you don't have a little blower around, might be a nice pickup. This could save your life, or at least save you from being bored to death. This is a RYOBI 40 volt, but they also have an 18 volt version power inverter. If you don't have one of these for emergencies, for when the lights go out, this could be a lifesaver, but really it could be a boredom saver because it helps you keep your devices charged and you can run other electrical devices. There is 3 120 volt outlets right up front. You also get USB-C and A ports so that you can charge various different devices. When you power it up, there's a screen showing you how many batteries you have and their charge levels. Right now I only have 3 40 volt batteries on there, but you can see that. If you want to activate these 120 volt outlets, they're all 15 amp circuits. You can push and hold the number 2 button and you'll see that those come up. And it gives you the load level out of a total of 100% to let you know how much you're taxing on that actual outlet there. There's also a work light that you can activate on the front with a tiny little push button that also has 2 modes, and then it also has a red light as well if you wanted to use that. This comes with a power cord, so you can actually use this as a charger as well, so you can charge your batteries that are connected to this. They do recommend at least a 5 amp hour battery per slot here, and you do get 4 of those slots. You can connect this to Bluetooth, which will connect you to the app so that you can monitor what's going on with this via the phone if you don't want to get up and walk over and look at it or whatever. Overall, I think this is one of those that is absolute must have if you already have the 40 volt or the 18 volt. I'll link to either one in the description just to keep you from at least getting bored, or may power a heater or something like that in an extreme emergency. Overall, I think it's one of those quality of life tools that are worth having around the house or campsite or wherever you want to do with it. This also comes in the same order. I think this is going to be one of the sleeper hits of the year from RYOBI. If you'd like to see it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment yes. That way I know what you mean. In the meantime, you should check out those RYOBI tools right there. Absolutely awesome. Click in that box to get you the big old virtual fist bump.